pupils. You're welcome to another wonderful edition of your favorite program, The Classroom in Your Home. A program organized by Lagos State Government and packaged by Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, LASUBEB. The aim is to ensure that you're academically engaged in addition to what you're learning in school. Fortunately, we are in the revision week and we will be rewarding active participants as well. I am Auntie Fumi, your English studies teacher, and I have with me as usual, your wonderful teachers.
Hello children, I am Uncle Agbaje, your mathematics teacher, but you know me as the mathematician.
Uncle Popo is here, your general studies teacher.
We also have in the house our favorite sign language interpreter, Uncle Wale. Together, we are bringing the classroom into your home. Please stay tuned. Hello pupils, you're welcome to Auntie Fumi's class. In our English studies lesson today, we will continue with revision of previous lessons. Did you enjoy the last edition? Today promises to be fun as well. Yeah, so the learning objective for today's lesson is that by the end of the lesson, you should be able to recall concepts taught in previous lessons. You should be able to recall concepts taught in the previous lessons. So are you ready? Are you with your writing materials? Sit up, please. Then, let's begin. Now, look at this question. She dressed gorgeously to the party. What part of speech is the word underlined? She dressed gorgeously to the party. What part of speech is the word underlined? Gorgeously is underlined here. What part of speech is the word gorgeously? Is it an adverb, adjective, preposition, or a verb? What is your answer? Oh, did you get it? Gorgeously is an adjective. So, if you have adjective as your answer, then I give you a thumb up. Good job, you. Let's move on. On question tags now. She didn't buy the bag, dash. She didn't buy the bag, dash. What is the appropriate question tag for this, this sentence? Is it did they? Did she? Have they? Or didn't she? She didn't buy the bag. Did they? Did she? Have they? Didn't she? Your answer. The answer is, did she? She didn't buy the bag. Did she? Don't forget we told you then that if it is in the negative form, then your question tag will definitely take the positive form. So, did she? I want my better half to be my best friend. I want my better half to be my best friend. What does better half here mean? What does it mean? Does it mean close friend, daddy, mommy, wife, or husband? What is the answer? Of course, better half means the wife or husband. So when I say I want my better half to be my best friend, it means I want my husband to be my best friend. Or Uncle Popo wants his wife to be his best friend. Better half is another word for either the wife or the husband. Are we together? Well done. I pray his wishes come to pass. This means that I pray his wishes dash. I pray his wishes come to pass. What does this mean? It means I pray his wishes. Does it mean happen? Does it mean that you pray that the wishes should happen, get to them, get to God, or get corrected. What is another word for come to pass? The answer is happen. I pray his wishes. Come to pass is the same thing as you saying, I pray his wishes happen. What he wants happen. Did you get that too? I'm proud of you, you know. Next question. Man is to house as none is to dash. This is talking about creatures, homes, and sounds. So we're not talking about creatures and their homes. Man is to house as none is to, is it woman, convent, prison, or asylum? What is the answer? The answer is convent. None is to convent. A man lives in the house, nuns live in the convent. Next question. King is to palace as lunatic is to dash. King is to palace as lunatic is to dash. Oh, I can hear you. You've said the answer already. But then let's do it together. Is it lunatic is to street, to asylum, to church, or to uncompleted building? You said uncompleted building. That is not correct. The answer is asylum. Lunatic is to asylum. That is where they are taken care of. Yes. A poetess is either a or an dash poet. A poetess is either a or an poet. Is it male poet, adult poet, best poet, or a female poet? Who is a poetess? A poetess is a female poet. We had that in our last lesson. Okay, you can remember. So a poetess is a female poet. Elements of poetry include all except one. Elements of poetry include all except dash, interest, voice, diction, sound, and rhythm. Remember I told you the elements of poetry. So all of these are elements of poetry except one. And what is that? Interest. Interest. Voice is an element. Diction is an element. Sound and rhythm is an element, or they are all elements of poetry. Now to the next question. When I say null and void, what does it mean? Null and what does it mean? Does it mean dirty and rough? Does it mean clean and neat? Does it mean it is not important? Or does it mean it is not legally valid? What is your answer? We had it in our lesson on doubles. Yes, that's class. So, null and void, what does it mean? It means it is not legally valid. It is not legally valid. It was Dash who knew the palace, who knew the place, sorry. It was Dash who knew the place. This is now a topic on pronouns. It was Dash who knew the place. Is it was him, it was her, it was she, or it was us? Which of the pronouns is most appropriate? It was she. It was she who knew the place. Did you get it? Are you sure? Oh, well done. That's good of you. He saw Dash in the market. He saw Dash in the market, still on pronouns. He saw Dash in the market. Is it he saw I, he saw they, he saw me, or he saw we? What is the answer? Of course, the answer is he saw me in the market. Not he saw I, he saw me in the market. You usually complain Dash headache all the time. You usually complain dash headache all the time. Is it you usually complain to headache, by headache, of headache, or with headache? What is the answer? Oh, that's a chorus answer. You usually complain of headache all the time. That is the appropriate preposition to use. The next question now. The three of you should share the oranges dash yourselves. The three of you, not two, the three of you should share the oranges dash yourselves. What is the answer? Is it between yourselves, among yourselves, over yourselves, or with yourselves? What is the answer? Of course, the answer is among yourselves. You should share the oranges among yourselves. You are three. So you cannot, if you are two, then between. But you are three now. So among yourselves. When I say all agreed with one mind, give me that one word that can be used to replace all agreed with one mind. Can we call it agreement, obsolete, unanimous, or uniform? We say, all of us, it was a dash decision. We all agreed with one mind. The answer is unanimous. We all agreed with one mind. There's nobody saying it is not so. We all agreed with one mind. It was a unanimous decision. A person who steals books. A person who steals books. We talked about it in one of our lessons. Who is the person who steals books? What is that name that the person is called? Is he a geographer, a biblioclept, misanthropist, or kleptomaniac? What is the answer? The answer is, of course, a biblioclept. A biblioclept. That is a person who steals. It doesn't steal chocolate. It doesn't steal money. It doesn't steal any other thing. It steals books. So the person is known as a biblioclept. Which of the following is not a figure of speech? I have four things here, four words here. Which of the words cannot be referred to as a figure of speech? Simile. You said no. Oh, okay. Metaphor. Personification. Verb. Which of those four cannot be referred to as a figure of speech? Oh, the answer is verb. Verb is not a figure of speech. Simile is a figure of speech. Metaphor is a figure of speech. And of course, personification. That is giving animate object to inanimate objects. Then giving animate qualities to inanimate objects is known as personification. It's a figure of speech. Verb is not a figure of speech. Did you get that? Are you sure? Good job, you then. Are we still together? Are you enjoying the revision class? Are you sure? Then let's look at this question. He is as brave as a lion. He is as brave as a lion. Ibrahim is as brave as a lion. What figure of speech is this? Is it a simile, a metaphor, personification, or hyperbole? What figure of speech is it? As brave as a lion. It is simile. Simile, yes. When you're comparing two things together with the use of like or as. Simile. Which of the following has a silent letter? That we had that lesson. We looked at that topic as well. Silent letters in words. So, which of the following words has a silent letter? PLU, because the moment I pronounce, you'll get the answer. So let me just spell. Is it PLUMBER, Is it FAN? Is it BED? Or is it BASKET? Which of those words has has a silent letter? What is your answer? Of course, the answer is plumber. Plumber, yes. The letter B is silent. You don't pronounce it as plumber. It is plumber. So there is a silent letter B there. Okay, that's it for today. We have come to the end of the English Studies lesson for today. We had fun revising previous lessons taught. I enjoyed it, and I know you did too. I'm sure you did. At this point, at this juncture, I want to hand you over to the mathematician, Uncle Agbaje, for another beautifully packaged revision class on mathematics. Don't forget, Auntie Fumi loves you, and she is always proud of you. Bye.
Hello, children. You're welcome to this segment of the program, The Classroom in Your Home. It is mathematics time, and today that means revision time. I am Uncle Agbaje. Today, we will continue our work on revising our previous lesson so that by the end of the day, you should be able to recall important concepts from the previous lessons that we have learned. In the last lesson, we reviewed many concepts, so today we will just continue on that. So without wasting much time, let us begin. Do you have your pens and pencils, papers are ready? The first question for today is that, which of these numbers is not a perfect square? Which one is not a perfect square? You know, a perfect square is a number that we get when we multiply a number by itself, you get a perfect square. So which one is not a perfect square? Consider that in 15 seconds. Alrighty then, I believe you've been able to identify them. We have 169, that is the square of 13. If you multiply 13 by 13, you get 169. 441, that is the square of 21. 21 times 21, 441. How about 361? That is the square of 19. 19 times 19 is 361. But 480, you can't find a whole number that you multiply by itself to give you 480. And so 480 is not a perfect square. Is that the number you selected? Give yourself a tick. Next question says, what is the square of 25? When you multiply 25 by 25, what do you get? If you don't know it already, then you have 15 seconds to work it out. Begin. Alrighty then, when you multiply 25 by 25, we get 625. Let's see if that's correct. Of course, it is. 25 times 25, 625. The next question says, which is the square root, or what is the square root of 784? I'll give you 30 seconds to work that out. Square root of 784, and in case you're forgotten, we'll do it the prime factorization way. Divide by prime numbers until you're done. You get to 1. Begin. Alrighty then, I believe that you are done. Let's quickly work out the square root of 784. So we write 784 like this, and then we begin to divide. By 2, 2 is the smallest prime number that can divide. 2 goes in 7 3 times, remaining 1. 2 goes in 18 9 times. 2 goes in 4 2 times. Then we can still divide by 2. 2 goes in 3 1 time, remaining 1. 2 goes in 19 9 times, remaining 1. 2 goes in 12 6 times. 2 can still go. 2 goes in 19 9 times, remaining 1. 2 goes in 16 8 times. 2 can still divide. 2 goes in 98, 2 goes in 9 4 times, remaining 1. 2 goes in 18 9 times. Now 2 can no longer divide, 3 cannot divide, 5 cannot divide, but 7 can divide. So 7 goes in 49 7 times, and 7 goes in 7 1 time. So what is the square root? Well, remember, we pick one, we leave one. We pick the next one, we leave one. Then we'll pick the next one, and we leave one. So we have 2 times 2 times 7. 2 times 2 times 7, that should give us 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 7 is 28. And so the square root of 784 is 28. Of course, did you select 28? Well, give yourself a tick, my friend. The next question says, what is the length of the side marked C? Remember the Pythagorean theorem, the Pythagorean formula. What is the length of the side marked C? Begin. Alrighty then, your answer should be ready. What did you get? Well, remember that the square of this side is the square of this side plus the square of this side. So to find C, C squared is the same thing as 8 squared plus 6 squared, and that is 64 plus 36, and that is 100. But the square C squared is 100, and that means that to know what C is, C multiplied by itself is 100. Which number will I multiply by itself to give 100? That, of course, my friend, is 10. So let's see if we are correct. Well, I am correct, and you are correct too, my friend. Brilliant job. Give yourself a tick. The next question says, okay, if you forget, if you had forgotten the Pythagorean formula before, here is another chance. You have to find the side labeled X. Begin. Alrighty then, let us say, remember that the longest side squared is the same thing as adding this one squared and that one squared. So that means that x squared plus 12 squared will give us the longest side squared, and that is 13 squared. So we don't know what x squared is. Now 12 squared is 144 and 13 squared is 169. Now we have to take the numbers to the right side. X squared is 169 minus 144, and we will get 5, 2. Okay, so x squared is 25. Now, which number will I multiply by itself to give me 25? That, of course, my friend, is 5. So we'll say x is equal to 5. But if you remember your Pythagorean triples, you will know that if you have 12 and 13, the third one must be 5. Is that what you got? Give yourself a tick. The next question says, what is the area of a rectangle is 108 centimeters squares. Now, if the length is 9 centimeters, what is the breadth? This should take you 20 seconds. Begin. Alrighty then, my friend, if the area is for a rectangle, we know that the area is multiplying the length by the breadth. So area is length times breadth. And so that means that we know the area already. Okay, since we know the area already, area is 108 centimeters squares, and then we know the length is 9 centimeters. The length is 9 centimeters. Then we don't know the breadth. But the question is, what do I multiply by 9 to give me 108? That should be 12. So the breadth is 12 centimeters. That will be the first option. If you got it right, give yourself a tick. Uncle Agbaji got it right. The next question says, the area of a square is 196 meters squares. Find the length of its sides. The area of a square is 196 meters squares. Find the length of the sides. This should be easy, but I'll give you 15 seconds to figure it out. Begin. Alrighty then. Well, to find the length of the square, well, the square has all sides equal, so we have to look for which two numbers you are multiplying together. to give you 196. And that means you'll find the square root of 196. So we can do that quickly here. 196. Okay, 2 goes here. 2 goes in 196. 2 goes in 19, 9 times remaining 1. 2 goes in 16, 8 times. Then 2 goes in 9, 4 times remaining 1. 2 goes in 18, 9 times. Then 7 goes 7 times. 7 goes 1 time. And to find the square root, you will take the first, leave the second, take the third, leave the fourth. So if we say that the length times the length will give us 196, then the length itself will have to be 14, because it is 14 times 14 that will give us 196. So in this case, the answer is the second option, that is 14 meters. If you got it, give yourself a tick. Now you have to find the area of this parallelogram. Now the parallelogram has an height, has a slant height, and then it has a breadth. So we only need 2 numbers. You used to remember the 2 numbers. Find the area of this parallelogram. Begin. Alrighty then, now the area of a parallelogram is arrived at by multiplying the height by the breadth. And don't forget that this side is not part of the shape. From here to here is 12 centimeters. We don't need the slant height to know the area. It's just a distraction. What we really need is the perpendicular height. And that perpendicular height is 8 centimeters. Even if we draw it inside the shape, it will still be 8 centimeters. So we know the breadth, which is 12, and we know the height, which is 8 centimeters. And so area will be multiplying the breadth by the height. For a parallelogram, area is base times height. That is 12 times 8, and that should give us 96 centimeters squares. And I think that is the second option. Let's see if we are correct. Of course we are. If you are correct, give yourself a tick. The area of this parallelogram, don't forget, we only need the perpendicular height, the one that has the right angle, and in this case, this is the right angle. So that's the height. And any line that line touches, this perpendicular height will touch a line. Okay, the line that it is perpendicular to will form your breadth. So you only need those 2 parameters. We should find the area of this triangle. Now remember that area of triangle is half the area of a parallelogram. That's just a hint. Begin. Alrighty then, area of a parallelogram is base times height. So area of a triangle will be half base times height. And so if I do the work in here, area is half of the base times the height. That is half of, in this case, the height is 6 because that's where you have the right angle. And that means this long one will be the base. So that is 20. Now 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 3. 3 times 20, that is 60 centimeters squares. Which option? That is the fourth option. Let's see if we are correct. Of course we are. But are you correct, my friend? If you are correct, you give yourself a tick. If not, you give it a little cross. Let's check out these ones. Yes, we have to find the area of this compound shape. Remember that to find the area of compound shapes, you have to partition it into simple shapes that you are familiar with. Okay, so if I were to help you, I would partition this along this line so that your work can be faster. Let's partition along this line. Okay, so now find the area of the 2 shapes and then add it together, but I will not partition the next one for you. You have 20 seconds. Begin. Alrighty then, I believe that you are done. Let's see what the correct answer will be. Okay, for this first shape, the length is, okay, so for this one, let's say this one, the length is 10 and the breadth is 2. If I call that one B, that will be length times breadth, which is 10 centimeter times 2 centimeters, and that will be 20 centimeter squares for this shape. But for this one, let's call that A. The area will be, the length is 8 centimeters. But the breadth, okay, so if from here to here is 10, this is 4 and this is 4, then that means this will be 2. From here, this small space will be 2. So length is 8, breadth is 2. That is 8 centimeters times 2 centimeters. 8 times 2 is 16. That will be 16 centimeters squares. But now to find the area of the O shape, I will add the first area and the second area. 20 plus 16, that should give us 36. And that is the second option. Let's see if we are correct. Of course, Uncle Agbaje is correct. But are you correct, my friend? If you are correct, give yourself a tick. If you are not correct, you have a chance with the next one. You have to find the area of this compound shape. Begin. Alrighty then, to find the area of this shape is very easy. You can partition it along this point. Now, we have the length of this place to be 15 and the breadth is 8. So if you call this A and you call this B, then the area of A will be, area of A will now be length times breadth, which is 15 times 8, and that will be, okay, 8 times 5 is 40, regroup 4, 8 times 1 is 8, plus that 4, that's 12. That's 120 centimeters squares. That is for the A part. But for the B part, if from this point to this point is 18, and this point to this point is 15, the remaining will be 3. The remaining will be 3. And then the height is still 8. And don't forget that this one is a triangle. Okay, so we can do half base times height. So for shape B, area will be half times the base, which is 3, times the height, which is 8. 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 4. 3 times 4, let me cross out this. 3 times 4, that gives us 12 centimeters squares. Now, if you had 12 centimeters squares plus 120 centimeters squares, you will have 132 centimeters squares. So let's see if we are correct. Of course we are correct. But this shape is also a trapezium, and a trapezium has its own formula as well. If you will recall, so let me just redo all this. And you will see that even if we use the formula of a trapezium, we will still get the same answer. The formula of a trapezium says that you look for the parallel sides, add them together, and divide by 2. Half the sum of the parallel sides, then your answer, you multiply it by the height. So let's see. Half times the sum of these two. If I had 18 plus 15, we will get 33. Then times the height, which is 8 over 1 over 1. Now 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 4. Now let's multiply 4 by 33. 4 times 3 will be 12. 4 times 3 will be 12 plus the 1 will get 13. And you see that we'll still get 132. So the next question now is still on a trapezoid. You are to find the area of this shape. You can use the formula or you can use the splitting technique. You have 20 seconds. Begin. All right, then I believe that you are done with this one. Let's just quickly go over it. Now, the parallel sides are 12 centimeters and 10 centimeters. We have to add them and take half of it. That is half of 10 plus 12 is 22. So half of 22. Then we have to multiply by the height times 4. 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 2. Now we have 22 times 2, and that should give us 44 centimeters squares. Let's see if we're correct. Of course, we are. Now that is the last question for the day. 13 questions in all. I want you to quickly go through your notes and see how many you got. If you got 8 and above, you are amazing. and I am going to celebrate you with a chair. Now we have come to the end of the revision class for the day, but it is not over. We still have one more revision lesson, so in case you've forgotten some things, you still have another opportunity to revise them. It's time for me to hand you over to Uncle Koko for the General Studies revision class, which promises to be engaging. Till I come your way in the next revision class, remain wonderful mathematicians. Bye-bye now.
Hello, pupils. You are welcome to General Studies class. I am Uncle Popo. Uncle Popo is here. Your response is, I am also here. We are here together. 100% attention. Good. 100% attention is what I want you to give me in today's lesson. Don't like we had in the last lesson, we revised all what we've taught in the last lesson in basic science. But today, our focus is on social studies. We want to revise all the topics we have treated in the past. And this is in form of questions. We have some questions that you will answer. Just get your pens and your books and get set. In our last lesson, we celebrated the winners. Today, we still need to celebrate the winners. And are you promising that you'll be among the winners today? Good. Are you ready, pupils? Good. Who will be the winner of today? If you are sure that you will be among the winners, you say, I will be the winner of today. Who will be the winner of today? Good. Who will be the champion of today? Excellent. All of you want to be among the winners or the champions of today. So let's get started. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to recall the concepts taught in the previous lessons. So question number 1. One of the following is not an importance of natural resources in national development. One of the following is not an importance of natural resources in national development. A, infrastructural development. B, employment. C, foreign exchange. And D, unemployment. What's your answer? The correct answer is unemployment. Don't forget, we treated the topic natural resources, and you were told the importance of natural resources in national development. You were told that infrastructural development we will get from our natural resources, it provides employment opportunity, likewise foreign exchange. Moving on to the next question. Dash natural resources are those resources that cannot finish or get reduced through usage. Dash natural resources are those resources that cannot finish or get reduced through usage. A, renewable. B, non-renewable. C, international. And D, local. What's the correct answer? The correct answer is renewable. You were told that renewable natural resources are those resources that cannot finish or get reduced through usage, like water. You know, we use water. The ocean, we use it for transportation and some other purposes, and no matter how you use it, it cannot get reduced or finished. So moving on to the next question. The common means of water transportation in Nigeria include the following, except the common means of water transportation in Nigeria include the following, except A, canoes, B, boat, C, submarine, and D, ferry. So which one? Except that means the one that is not common. Good. We have submarine, we have canoes. Some of you have seen that before. Boats, some of you have seen it also. Likewise, ferry. They are very common in Nigeria, but submarine is not very common in Nigeria. So that's where we discuss the water transportation. One of these is not a problem of air transportation. No, still talking about transportation. Now on to air transportation. one of these is not a problem of air transportation? A. High cost of maintaining planes. B. Inadequate number of airports. C. Cheap cost of fares. And D. High cost of fares. Which of these is not a problem of air transportation? I think it's very cheap. Your answer is what? Cheap cost of fares. All these are problems of air transportation. High cost of maintaining planes, inadequate number of airports. It's not everywhere we get airports, so it's one of the problems. High cost of fares. It's not like your road transportation that you can take little money and you go to anywhere you want to go, but air transportation costs more. So, and all these are problems. High cost of maintaining, inadequate number of airports, high cost of fares are problems of air transportation. So moving on to the next one. Here, still talking about transportation. That is the movement of people, goods, and services from one place to another. Dash is the movement of people, goods, and services from one place to another. Very simple and easy. A. Marketing. B. Transportation. C. Recreation. And D. Verification. What's the answer? The correct answer is transportation. Transportation is the movement of people, goods, and services from one place to another. And you were told that we have different types of transportation: water transportation, air transportation, road transportation, and rail transportation. And the fastest is air transportation. So let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is not a telecommunications service provider in Nigeria? The question again. Which of the following is not a telecommunications service provider in Nigeria? A. T-Mobile. B. MTN. C. Airtel. D. Globacom. I think this is very cheap. Your answer is what? The correct answer is T-Mobile. It's not one of the telecommunication service provider in Nigeria. I know at times you will have been sent to go and buy MTN, Airtel, or Globacom. They are telecommunication service provider in Nigeria, but T-Mobile is in America, so it's not one of the telecommunication service provider in Nigeria. Now on to the next question, and Dash is the state of being a male or a female based on physical, behavioral, and social differences. Dash is the state of being a male or a female based on physical, behavioral, and social differences. Options: A. Marriage. B. Courtship. C. Discrimination. And D. Gender. Don't forget, when we add the topic talking about gender discrimination, you were told that gender is the state of being a male or a female based on physical, behavioral, and social differences. That is gender. Moving on to the next question. Dash means unequal treatment given to a particular gender, male or female, over another for benefit or opportunity. Dash means unequal treatment given to a particular gender, male or female, over another for benefit or opportunity. A. Man discrimination. B. Gender discrimination. C. Woman discrimination. And D. Modern discrimination. What's the correct answer? The correct answer is gender discrimination. Gender discrimination means unequal treatment given to a particular gender, whether a male or female, over another for benefit or opportunity. On to the next question. A quarrel, contest, or disagreement between individuals or among groups of people is known as dash. A quarrel, contest, or disagreement between individuals or among groups of people is known as dash. A. Conflict. B. Harmony. C. Gender discrimination. And D. Unity in diversity. Don't forget when we treated this topic, conflict. So what's the correct answer? The correct answer is conflict. That's conflict is quarrel, contest, or disagreement between individuals or among groups of people. That's conflict. Moving on to the next question. One of the following is not causes of conflict among groups. One of the following is not causes of conflict among groups. A, selfishness among people. B, unwillingness to accept other people's views. C, lack of understanding. And C, tolerance. What's it? The correct answer is tolerance. Selfishness among people, unwillingness to accept other people's view, lack of understanding are all causes of conflict among groups. Which of the following is a regional international organization? Which of the following is a regional international organization? A, IMF. B, ILO. C, ECOWAS. D, WHO. Which one? The correct answer is ECOWAS. You know, we told you about international organizations, those are regional and those are global association or organization. So ECOWAS is a regional international organization because it's only meant for the West African countries that could be members of ECOWAS. ECOWAS was established in what year? ECOWAS was established in what year? A, 1960, B, 1963, C, 1975, and D, 1978. The correct answer is 1975. In 1975, Economic Community of West African States was established. Now, what is the full meaning of WTO? This is one of the UN agencies. WHO, WTO, ILO, International Labour Organization, International Monetary Fund, all these are examples of UN agencies. So what is the full meaning of WTO? A, World Trade Organization. B, Women Took Over. C, World Technical Organization. And D, World Tennis Organization. If you are conversant with things around you, you will know the full meaning of this, and that is World Trade Organization. And recently we had Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala emerging as the Director General of World Trade Organization. Ms. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is a Nigerian, so we are happy and we celebrate her. That is the process of transforming natural resources from their raw state to usable forms. That is the process of transforming natural resources from their raw state to usable forms. A, transmission. B, nature. C, resource development. And D, modernization. The correct answer is resource development. That is the process of transforming natural resources from their raw state to usable forms. And before the last question for today, the things provided by nature in our environment are known as what? The things provided by nature in our environment are known as what? A, land formation. B, natural resources. C, blessing. D, heritage. Things provided by nature are known as natural resources. How many local governments and local councils development area do we have in Lagos State? How many local government and local councils development area do we have in Lagos State? A, 20, B, 37, C, 57, and D, 774. The correct answer is 57. We have 20 local governments in Lagos State and 37 local council development area. So altogether we have 57 local government and local council development area in Lagos State. So that's it for today. How many of you missed just only 1, 2, 3? You did not miss at all? Wow, you deserve to be celebrated. So at the end of everything, now let's sing our song. Who is now the champion of today? If you are one of them, then you say, I am now the champion of today. And if you want to be part of the winners, you can also sing along. Who is now the winner of today? Who is now the champion of today? Who is now the winner of today? Who is now the champion of today? Good. So I celebrate the winners and the champions. So until next time, next lesson, Uncle Popo says, keep on studying. Bye.
My wonderful pupils, we have come to the end of another interesting edition on the classroom in your home.
A beautiful revision session it has been for us. We hope that through these sessions you have been able to recall a lot of the things that you have been taught. Now, as we said at the beginning of today's program, we are still in revision week and we are still rewarding our active participants. It's been a long 116 episodes for us. We thank you for being part of the program and we appreciate many of you that have joined us. The first on the list for today is Farida Badmos from Rhizome Primary School in Koshofe Local Government Education Authority.
Followed by Rachel Omotosho, AUD Primary School in Mota, Ikorodu LGA.
Okeke Ifeoma from Anglican Primary School, Oto Ijaniki, Ojo LGA.
Again, the Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board has prepared something marvelous for you. And I'm not talking of good life magic juice. I'm talking of something you're going to see and you're going to remember that I got this from the classroom in your home. To redeem your prize, all you have to do is send a message to the number showing on your screen and we will tell you when to come around.
We have a special recognition.
Special recognition from somebody from Ogbomosho.
And that is Akonde Ezekiah from Trophy Guide Primary School, Ogbomosho.
You guys are all doing well and we thank you for participating. For now, we say,
Good job, you.
Now, remember that our online assessments are still in place for you to practice. You can call your friends and tell them to join the program, The Classroom, in your home. They stand a chance to win amazing prizes as well. That link for the online assessment can be found using bit.ly/LASUBEB-TESTS. Remember, these online assessments are our way of knowing how well you are performing because we want to help you to improve on your performance.
Taking the online assessment is based on if you have access to either your daddies, your mommies, your uncles, or your aunties' Android or smartphones. If not, there's no problem at all. Just send your comments and your questions to 081 50 86 5663. Please do not call that line. SMS and WhatsApp messages only.
I'm happy to inform you all that lessons from 1 to 116 of different topics in English, mathematics, and general studies is available on Lagos SUBEB YouTube channel. You can watch at your own preferred time. All what you need is to subscribe to Lagos SUBEB YouTube channel to get notification when new videos are uploaded. The Classroom in your home is still available on Facebook live. The same time airing on television through the page showing on the screen.
Until our next edition where we shall meet again on The Classroom in your home, please keep revising.
Wash your hands regularly.
Keep working hard, but above all,
Stay safe.
Because at LASUBEB,
We leave no child behind.